how I became a minimalist. Hey guys, what's up? It's Alyse, and today I'm going to share a little story with you about how I became a minimalist. First, before I even jump into the story, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to come and click on this video. I'm really glad that you're here with me, and if you're new to my channel, I have videos about minimalist living, self-love, raw food, fitness, my life in Hawaii, and all that good stuff, so definitely click the subscribe button down below if you're into any of those topics. Okay, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about minimalism before I get into the story. So a lot of people ask me how I became a minimalist, how they can become a minimalist, and to me, minimalism isn't about like having the smallest number of items in your life. To me, minimalism is about having items that you really appreciate in your life and that add value to your life. And also knowing that you don't need them in order to be happy and at peace and enjoy life. So that's what minimalism is about to me. It's not about having the smallest number of items. It's about just being at peace with what I do have and knowing that I don't need any of this. I don't need this shirt. I don't need more than one shirt and one pair of pants. I don't need more than one pen or one notebook. I don't need more than one warmer jacket. I don't need much at all in order to get by, in order to be healthy, and in order to love life. So I don't think about it as a contest, and I don't want you to think about it that way, because that's not a very healthy relationship to have with the belongings that you have, constantly feeling like you don't want them in your life, you want less, you want less, you want less because it's a contest. For me, it's all about comfort and just finding value in the things that I do have, and I guess I'll share more about this later in the story, but I just wanted to kind of share my outlook on minimalism with you. So, as a child, I've always been fairly neat and organized. Some could call me a neat freak. I love everything to be neat and orderly. As soon as I use something, I put it away when I'm done with it. And I love to keep everything very, very tidy. That's how I've been as a child. And as I grew older and went through middle school and high school, I started to go shopping a lot with my friends. I got a job in high school and it paid pretty well, so I just had all of this money and I used to just go shopping with my girlfriends, and I started to accumulate a lot of material belongings, mostly clothes, but some other things as well. And I started to feel pretty bogged down by all of these things. I would look around my room, look into my closet, and see all of these things that I hardly ever used. I would just wear similar things over and over, my favorite items, and all of these other things would just sit in my room, sit in my closet, sit in my dresser, and I felt bogged down by them. And I started to notice that I felt bogged down because every time I would sit down to complete a homework assignment or like write an essay, I'd look around my room, and if anything was out of place, if I just had like a pile of things anywhere, I would need to clean it and just have everything in its place before starting to work on whatever project it was. This kind of continued throughout college. I brought a lot of stuff to my college dorm room, and I felt the same way. If anything was out of place, I had to have it back in place in order to just move forward and be productive, and not just for homework assignments, but to just feel like my head was clear. And this continued for a few years, and then I think it was 2 years ago, I found Brittany Taylor on YouTube, and that is what opened my eyes to minimalism. I didn't know what it was before finding her channel. I just dove in and watched a lot of her videos and thought it was the coolest thing ever how she didn't have a lot of stuff. And everything that she shared just was like totally in alignment with the things that I was feeling on the inside. I just didn't know there was like a term for it. I didn't know there was a thing for what I was feeling, which was just like weighed down by all of this stuff. So I started to get rid of my things a little bit at a time. It took a while. I remember I lived in Georgia at the time when I found her channel, and I would go up to Connecticut where my parents live every now and then for like winter break and stuff like that, and I would declutter and separate things into piles that I wanted to donate and that I wanted to sell. I would get rid of a lot of stuff. I did the same thing at my home down in Georgia. I would just get rid of a lot of things, And I'll share some resources down below in the description that you can click on, places to donate and to sell and all of that. It just started to feel really good immediately as I was releasing things that I never really wore or used in my life. It just felt right, and there's no other way I can explain it. It just felt right. So I continued on, and it was really exciting to me. It was like a game at first. It did feel like, oh, how little can I have? And it was fun to kind of like ride that flow for a while. And then when it really started picking up, when my minimalist journey started picking up, was when I decided to move from Georgia to Hawaii. And I didn't have much money, and I was also going to live and work on a fruit farm called Kanekiki. So I needed to sell a lot of my stuff because I didn't want to have it in storage in Georgia because I wasn't planning on going back there. So I started getting rid of everything. I would say I got rid of around 90 or 95% of my belongings a little bit over 1 year ago. And it felt really great. I got rid of this bed that I bought, a couch, a table, a lot of decorations, but I also kept quite a few decorations. Decorations really add value to my life. I love having like a homey space that reflects how I feel on the inside and reflects my style. Like this blanket, for example, it adds joy to my life and I don't feel like it's clutter. But when it comes to clothing and other material belongings, I do feel like they're clutter. So it's all about picking and choosing what feels right for you and what adds value to your life and what you use and cherish. So I got rid of most of my things, and I lived in a hut for a while, and I had to keep all of my clothing in this airtight bin because if it was out in the air, since the air is so moist down in the jungle, everything was prone to getting mold on it. So I had to keep it in that bin, which kind of led me to want even less because I realized that I just didn't need that much at that point in time. And then I moved into a van and lived in there for a couple of months. That was an even smaller area than the hut that I was living in. So I wanted to continue consolidating and getting rid of some things. So I did that. I donated some things and I sent some things back to my parents' house. I probably just have a stack of clothes about this tall, just long sleeves and pants and like warmer sweaters for when I'm visiting them up there. And I just sent some things there and I just kept downsizing. And then in the spring of this year, I moved into a home, temporary home, and I realized that I had a lot more space around me in the home that I was living in. I actually felt like I wanted to take a few new items on into my life. I really wanted to buy a dress, and I really wanted, workout clothing, because I was joining a gym, and in the fruit farm and in the van, I wasn't going to a gym. So that was something that did add value to my life, was having workout clothing. Now I'm at a more steady place in my life, and I'm going to be here for a while, and I have the room to take on new things. And I'm kind of exploring that option. Okay guys, the footage you were just watching was actually from 2 days ago because my battery died when I was filming the end of that story. So here I am picking up where I left off, although I kind of finished the story of my minimalist journey, how I got to this place. And I am really glad that I was able to share this with you. I also want to let you know I am going to be hiking the Appalachian Trail for 6 months starting in April. So when I leave this place, I will maybe sell a couple of things. I will put all of my belongings into my car or store them somewhere on the island. And then I will be hiking the Appalachian Trail, so I will have many, many less belongings than I have right now. Everything that I will be using for those 6 months will be in a backpack on my back, probably between 25 and 38 liters. So that's that, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I would love to hear any confusion you have around the matter. I would also like to just share a really quick tip of how you can start downsizing right now. I've also shared this tip at the end of a couple of my other minimalist videos because people ask me all the time, like, how do I start decluttering? How do I get rid of my stuff? How do I become a minimalist? And it's really it's easy. It starts with this one practice that you can do. So I really encourage you to start in one place. Start in your closet, or start in your dresser, or start underneath your bathroom sink, or in one kitchen cabinet, and pull everything out and start putting it into piles. You should have one pile of things that you use very, very regularly, like on a daily or weekly basis. And then another pile can be for things that you would like to donate, things that you just don't really use very often, and perhaps they're not of much value, so you can just donate them, or maybe you used to use them a lot so they're really worn out. And then you can have another pile for selling, and that can be like selling on eBay, or selling at a tag sale, or selling to a friend, or selling on your Facebook page. And those might be things that are worth a little bit more, or perhaps they are better quality, but you just don't use them. And then you're gonna have a fourth pile. So that was 3 piles. One is things you use all the time, one is things to donate, and one is things to sell. And the next one is going to be a pile that you feel like you're going to use in the future, but you haven't used in a while. You're maybe saving it for a specific event or occasion, or maybe it's a sentimental item and you just can't seem to let go of it. You're gonna put that in another pile, and you are gonna take that whole pile and put it away somewhere where you can't see it for at least 1 month. And at the end of those 30 days, you're gonna bring it out, and if you didn't go back into that spot and take anything to use it, then that box is going to be split into a donate and sell pile, and you're gonna get rid of those things as well. Because if you didn't use them over that full month, chances are you don't really need them in your life. Now, something I've also been realizing while I'm at a more like steady, semi-permanent home is that, yeah, maybe I'm not gonna use things for a full month, but maybe I really want to make somebody a raw vegan dessert, and I really want, what's it called? Like those sheets where you can like pour raw vegan chocolate into it if it had like a little heart shape or a star shape. I forget what they're called, but maybe I really wanted that item to make for my friend's birthday in the future. And maybe I wasn't gonna use it for the next 30 days, but I really want it in the future, and I know that I will. You can be lenient with that type of stuff, but you also want to be strict with yourself and think about it logically. If you're not using it on a daily or weekly basis, it's really not a necessity in your life, and you don't need to hang on to it. So I encourage you to try that practice out, make those 4 piles, and then move on to a different part of your house. Just try and minimize as much as possible. So I guess that's all I want to share in this video. I hope I didn't forget anything. If you think I did, just comment down below, and I have been doing my best to answer as many comments as possible, so I will talk to you in the comment section. Oh yeah, and today is the 27th of November, I think. So I've been working on my self-love ebook like crazy, and it's coming along quite nicely, but I just have a couple days left to finish it, so I'm probably not gonna have a video up until after I complete the ebook. The ebook will be up on December 1st, and you can check the link down below if you want to pre-order it, or if you want to order it on December 1st. And it's gonna be so awesome. So that's what I'll be up to for the next few days, working on that, getting that out for you. And if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone who you think would benefit from my minimalist story and the tips that I shared at the end. And comment if you have any ideas for more minimalist related videos, or any videos at all. And I will see you soon. Bye.